All right. So I've done quite a few little video game reviews and things like that. Just those short pieces. But I haven't done anything in the philosophical type era or anything like that in quite a bit. So I came up with these three things that are kind of keys to success and to be personally empowering to oneself. Okay? Because I think too often we fall into a jurisdiction of idleness, acceptance, and just basic robot behavior. Okay, I mean there's very seldom a very small percentage of people that dream about something and it just falls into their lap. To just be completely honest and real with you. Okay, you are not going to be signed to the NBA if you haven't played sports ever in your life. Okay, so if there's something in your mind that's egging you on about a dream, whether it be music, being a YouTuber, being a sports broadcaster, or even a sport player, or whether it's just to be the best damn retail manager in the world, you have to conceptualize. That's the first word, and that's where everything begins. You have to conceptualize what it is that you desire the most. The thing about it is that you have to create a goal plan on how to get to where your conceptualized idea is. You can't just dream. You have to conceptualize and goal plan. Dreaming is a whole other word. Dreaming is just idealistically thinking about it and not doing anything about it and expecting it to just happen. It won't work that way. Very seldom within my confounds of knowledge has it ever happened in history where somebody wins the $7 million lottery. I mean, the odds are not stacked in your favor. But the first thing that you need to do is conceptualize things. Okay? The second thing is be consistent. Consistently moving forward to that goal. Consistently practicing. Consistently coming up with ideas. Consistently studying, watching videos, talking to people that are involved in the area of things that interest you. How do it's amazing to me. People pay all this money to go to college, and I mean that's fine, that's great. If you have a lot of faith in that, that's great. I'm not trying to negate the validity of college. I can tell you from my personal experience in college what I experienced, and what I experienced is people walking out the door with a diploma and not being able to get a job. Not a diploma, but a degree, a master's, a bachelor's, whatever it was. They were unable to get a job. I knew people that could barely speak English, read, or write, that were making a substantially larger amount than these people that were coming out of college on the heels of debt for school loans. Because these people, and then the other thing is that when you conceptualize, you got to also be real with yourself. Okay? When you have that consistency, be real with yourself. I mean, if you can't play basketball and you have no game, I mean, you should practice and really give it your all to really, if that's your dream, go for it. But you have to be real with yourself. I don't want somebody that's 56 years old watching this video talking about, I'm finna go try out for NBA. I'm gonna practice and practice and practice. We have to be in the realm of reality here. Unfortunate as it is, they have certain standards. Now, there's nothing to say that you can't pull what was that show that was hilarious? Uncle something, where the old school basketball players came out. It was Uncle something. It was funny. It was very funny. It was a really good movie. I mean, I'm not a young player. I can get on there and I can freestyle on the court, but I'm gonna feel it because I'm not in shape as I was back in the day. But skip away from that. You have to conceptualize and you have to have consistency with it, but you also have to be real with yourself. You have to know what the parameters are. Like I said, educate yourself, talk to people. If people say, hey, well, there's not this, you might not be able to do it professionally. Well, guess what? There's tournaments. There's 3-on-3 tournaments. There's something you can follow, and you can get a slice of your dream and participate in something that is pulling on your strings to follow. It's and the other thing about it is consistency that really comes at a really high price in this modern day and age, because we are submissive to be at work to pay for our necessities, and that's just the way that it goes. And some people have very mentally stressful jobs where they, mentally, if you're mentally active and you're dealing with a whole lot of exterior mental stress and things of that nature, it can drain you. Some people have physically demanding jobs. When you get home, you're physically demanded. That can drain you. So the cards are stacked against you even more. Okay? And that's why whenever people, and there are people that they've got a talent. It's natural born. It's a gift. A lot of people have to practice. There's certain people, and this is a big shout out, and this is not to deter anything or say anything, but he's self-admitted this on Jesus Here's Toast. When he first plays a game, he is not speed running that shit through. Okay? And if you are familiar with what I'm talking about, I'm all over the place. I'm talking about sports, I'm talking about music, I'm talking about that, because these are all things that kind of interest me. I'm kind of all over the place kind of guy. I'm a multifaceted, multifunctional, eclectic type of person. So, but a speedrunner is somebody that has so much skill within a video game that they can basically finish a game in world record time. And yes, there are world records for beating video games because there's people that are passionate about it. They conceptualize something and they have consistency with it. They play it over and over and over again until they get to the point to where, hey, you know what? I'm going to go for the world record, or I'm going to do a speed run, or I'm going to try out for the Olympics, or I'm going to go on to karaoke and see how I get a feedback if I sing on karaoke, or then I'm going to go to America's Got Talent. I'm going. There's plenty of outlets out there. I don't know all the outlets, but that's what I'm saying. You talk to people, you tell a couple people close to you your dream, you share a little bit of what you're working on, and talk to people that are positive. Do not talk to any gossiping person about your dreams. Do not talk about anybody who has anything negative to say about your dreams. Find positive people that will, even if it's bad criticism, sometimes bad criticism can be utilized in a good manner. If they say, well, you're all sloppy all over the place dribbling this ball, or you're dropping the controller, you're doing this, or your tones are way off, your voice does not work, you can practice. You play guitar, you're not doing very good. Practice. So you have the conceptualization of it, you have the consistency of practicing and consistently moving towards your goal. And then here's the thing about it. And you have to know. You have to have faith. You have to believe in yourself. Because nobody else will. Now, there is a superiorly fine, infinite line on this right here. You cannot be deceitful to yourself. You cannot lie to yourself. And you cannot be delusional. Please do not be delusional. Do not be one of these folks that go on, I forget what that old, America's Got Talent or Star Search, or I can't remember what the big one was, and make an ass out of yourself thinking that you have got a talent, but you really don't. And that goes in line with consistency. It also has to do with conceptualizing your goal, getting feedback, working on it, and getting it. Knowing could cancel out the conceptualization and that. If you cannot get to your skill, like I said before, there's really not a whole lot of shame if, and there's a lot of people that are like, well, I wasted half my life away. It's never too late. Okay? There's always a way to figure some kind of something out. I mean, it's real slim and it's real iffy margin there, because the world runs on young talent that they can utilize for a long period of time to draw as much money off of it. And that's just how the entertainment business works from head to toe. That's why they groom these Disney artists. That's how they groom these young artists. And that's why when you're grooming these artists with the ins and outs of the way the industry is, they have all these breakdowns and everything like this, because they groom them to crash and burn. I mean, if you take somebody that's let me put it this way. You have a lot of these people that are younger and they were pushed into a certain direction and they weren't given the freedoms. And I mean, like Michael Jackson, look at where Michael Jackson went with his own, and I'm sorry if I'm going to offend anybody with this, but when you do plastic surgery and you to that amount with your face and stuff, and I mean, Michael Jackson was a good looking guy on that Thriller album. And then he went and butchered his nose, butchered all of this for what? I don't know why. But you have these weird nuances and these breakdowns, whatever you want to call it. And you take somebody like Prince, who at 16 demanded that he had his own freedom and his liberties, went on to make an album or more a year, and went on to be one of the best musicians ever. You can't... Man, I just went off on sidetrack. Anyway, you have to really know in your heart of hearts. And if it's a dream, follow your dream. If you want to make music, make it for yourself, buddy. I have plenty of music tracks on my thing. And not a lot of people like it. Not a lot of people view it. And whatever, but it's out there. So, at the end of the day, am I making music for you or am I making it for me? Because I know what I have and what I can do, and I enjoy what I've put out. So that's enough. You have to be realistic. You have to be on realistic terms that, there's millions and millions and millions of people who want to be sports icons, who want to be actors, they want to be musicians, they want to be famous, they want to have the limelight. But is that your dream? Or is the catalyst your dream? Is it the sport, the love of the music, the love of the acting, the love of the trade, the love of whatever? Or is your catalyst, is it just something that motivates you to get to what you're really wanting, and it's money and fame? Okay? Now, you can stop the video here, because here I'm going to go off and really kind of show this how it's a template from the Matrix. Okay? You want to be the one. You're going to have to conceptualize it. Okay? So, at the beginning of the Matrix, they're like, hey, yo, things ain't what you seem. And he's like, I don't get it. What the fuck is going on? Right? So, they had the red pill, and he wasn't able to get it into his head. You live to pay bills and take care of your responsibilities, and then to die. That's what you're alive to do. You might want to do something that you enjoy or brings other people joy within that time that you have. But he could not really conceptualize what the reality of the situation was until he was awoken by an external force. But once he was able to conceptualize what the real deal was, he had knowledge. Once he had that knowledge, he had a choice of whether he was going to pursue this goal of the one or not. Okay? In that, he had consistency. He had training to do. And yeah, it was all mind jack training and whatnot, but there were different scenarios that he had to have consistency. There were plenty of times where he had doubt and he could have turned away or just died or whatever. But he was consistently, for lack of betterment, better words, I guess, to say is to make a better reality for everybody in himself. He awoke to what he believed would be helpful. And the real difference was when he believed. When he's in that hallway and the bullets come, he knew he was the one. He knew it. And he didn't worry about was Trinity watching, what was going on. He knew and he acted on it. And when you have a skill or a trade, do something with it. Don't be afraid of what people will say. And if people say shitty shit to you, and if they try to be negative to you, you surround yourself with positive people. And that is a very difficult task in this modern day and age and time. Because everybody has a gripe, everybody has a bitch, and everybody has 10 cents. And nobody wants to see anybody succeed anymore. I heard a really great line in a movie recently. And I can't remember exactly what it was, but the essence of it was basically, not everybody could be a king. Some people were made to be kings, and other people were made to motivate people to be kings. There is such a selfishness in this modern era. The selfism, the meism, the me, the egotisticness, ways that we've imprisoned our minds with. You know, it's okay to help somebody out. It's okay to give positive feedback. A lot of people are afraid to give criticism because they don't want to hurt anybody's feelings because everybody's gotten so damn sensitive. But if we were just honest with one another in positive ways, it would be a lot healthier. A lot of people would grow. You know, if you hear somebody singing, if they're just god-awful, you can be honest. Hey, you know what? I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you sound like a bag of cats with diarrhea. You might want to take some vocal lessons if that's your dream. But don't make a demo now. Or you could be like, hey, that's kind of catchy. What are you thinking about doing with that? Push somebody in a positive manner. Because I can guarantee you 8 out of 10 of the artists nowadays, they can't sing. They ain't doing nothing good with their voice. I mean, you go into a computer, you go into a studio, you affect that shit. Bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. And I'm about to bust up my studio and start doing my shit again because this is not only a video for you, but it's a video for me. And I'm about to start busting out my production shit and my vocal shit and all this shit from 96. Bro, I'm going to start layering, processing. I don't even need auto-tune. But get ready. But really, it's also a video for myself. It's a video for anybody that's in need of guidance or a way to think about, ways to a means to reach a desire, a dream. So hopefully this has been helpful to you. I haven't done a ranty video in a while, and this is a bit of a ranty one, so I'm going to cut it off here. Because again, I don't want to say well, but I just did. This has been Calgon time with Condor. It's been Congor. Caldor? I don't know. That sounds like a sci-fi fantasy movie, but yeah. That's Bath Time with Jason.